Now, by some people's standards, Battlefield 4 Esports was a success. I mean, they've had 4 seasons of EMS 1, which is an online competition culminating in a LAN final in Cologne, Germany, each season having 30,000 euros prize money. Not only that, but there's at least another 2 or I believe 3 seasons coming this year with the same prize money. So let's say there's 7 or 8 seasons with 30,000 euros each. Is that not a success? I'm not sure, but it's certainly more than what we had for Battlefield 3. With that in mind though, I still think it needs a bit of a shake-up. The game mode in Battlefield 4 is stale, many of the players don't like it, and in the further seasons it's actually going to be changed to Obliteration anyway, because Domination just isn't the game mode they wanted, full stop. What I think though is we need a bigger shake-up. We're Battlefield Hardline, and we've no idea if Hardline will even be a competitive game, if it'll even be picked up by ESL, if people will even be interested in it. We don't know. But what I'm thinking is having a system more akin to, say, Call of Duty. Now, I know, Call of Duty, how dare I name that, but think about this for a second. And I don't know if this still happens in Call of Duty because I haven't followed the scene in a long time. But in Call of Duty, when they play on Xbox, they tended to have a series of games between 2 teams on different game modes. So they might have, and these aren't the game modes, I don't know what they are, but they might have, let's say, Domination, they might have Search and Destroy, and a few others. So teams actually had to be good on different game modes to actually win competitions. And I find that quite interesting, and this is the sort of line of inquiry I'm going down here. What if Battlefield Hardline, if it were to be an esports game, what if there wasn't just one game mode? Now, right now, we've got 2 supposed competitive game modes. We've got Rescue Mode, and then we've got Crosshairs. What if we had another one, say, for instance, let's say Conquest Small. Let's say that, for argument's sake, actually turned out pretty nice. And let's say, for argument's sake, we had like 4 or 5. Wouldn't it be quite cool if maybe that every game you played, a different game mode was chosen? Or if you were playing a team in a best of 3 or something like that, you had 3 different game modes that you played. So you played one game mode, one team maybe picked the one they wanted, the other team picked the one they wanted, and then the decider was on the last one maybe. I mean, something like this I think maybe could spice up Battlefield a little bit. You might have a game where Rescue Mode's played and Conquest's played, and I know this probably wouldn't work, but Hotwire's played or something like that, you know, just to spice up the action and make it so that every game was a little bit different, because every game's going to have a slightly different game mode. I think it's something that's doable. Obviously certain game modes wouldn't work with it, and maybe you might need more game modes, I don't know. You'd probably need 5 game modes that would work, so that you could have a game, let's say a best of 3, where you could veto down some of the game modes. So in that respect, it's probably not feasible right now, because there isn't 5 game modes probably that are suitable. I'm thinking Rescue, Crosshairs, Conquest Small maybe, Team Deathmatch and stuff like that. No, that's, you know, that's out of the question. So it would require the game modes, but it's something maybe that could spice up the game a little bit, and it would keep players on their toes and teams on their toes when they knew that not only did you have to practice, you know, X game mode, but you had to make sure that you were okay on the other one as well. And then you've obviously got the maps as well, and it would spice things up, I guess, a little bit for the spectators. One of the things about Domination and Battlefield 4, and this is one of the biggest criticisms, is it's not exciting to watch. Now, obviously some people would disagree with this, that I'm about to say, because it's personal preference, but for me, Counter-Strike is really entertaining to watch because it's gripping. Obviously people disagree, people who don't like Counter-Strike, obviously, but I find that quite gripping to watch. Watching, when I wasn't playing a game and watching like a 5v5 domination game, I found it boring. I found it really boring. And it was quite hard for people that didn't know so much about 5v5 domination to actually work out what was going on in the game and work out why the teams were doing what they were doing, why they were sat in this certain place. It was I thought it was quite hard for that to be established. And I think a simpler, more effective game mode is definitely needed. I would like to see Obliteration Small find its way into Battlefield Hardline. I think they've spent a lot of work on it on the CTE with Battlefield 4. I think it'd be a shame not to see it in Battlefield Hardline. But those are just my thoughts, throwing them out there, spitballing. Let me know what you think, and if you think this sort of system would work, or if it wouldn't work. I mean, this is, just an idea. So, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.